Hey guys, Jordan here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the hardest thing about being a full-time real estate photographer. So let's get into it. Alright, so before I get started, if you're interested in learning about real estate photography, you've come to the right channel. That's all I talk about on this channel, so make sure to subscribe if you're interested in learning, as I put out daily videos on that topic. In this video, I just wanted to talk about and reflect about the hardest thing about being a full-time real estate photographer. Now, everybody's journey is going to be different, so everybody's answer is going to be different, right? So in this video, it's going to be what my hardest thing was. And honestly, I think, you run into different problems, whether, along the way, but I think the hardest part for me was at the beginning, and it actually was just starting, and it was having faith in myself and actually, honestly, because I had a good corporate job before I left. This is a little bit different because I transitioned from a bank branch manager to doing real estate, but then that fizzled out really fast. So I guess it's more of a transition to entrepreneurship from corporate America. That right there was probably one of the hardest decisions I had to make, because I was used to, and you get used to that consistent paycheck, and my wife didn't work. I had 2 kids at the time, so there's a lot on the line, right? When I left corporate America, and so there was potential to make a good amount of money when I left the bank, but ultimately I didn't end up making that much money because that opportunity kind of dried up relatively quickly. So I had to figure something out. What was it going to be, a full-time real estate agent? I was doing real estate deals to bridge the gap in money when I first started, but I spent most of my time just so focused on real estate photography and trying to get that business off the ground, right? And definitely at the beginning, so I think there's stages. So what the hardest was transitioning from corporate America to the entrepreneur mindset, where everything's on you, nothing's guaranteed. It was a tough challenge, and I'm glad I had the support of my wife. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have made the decision. But my wife probably knew me better than I knew myself. She knew how hard a worker I was, and she was never concerned. So yeah, a lot more work, a lot harder work than I thought, but it was so much more enjoyable than working in corporate America, at least for myself, working a 9 to 5, kind of Monday through Friday or whatever. A lot more enjoyable. So starting and then getting customers was also a hard challenge. I wouldn't put it number one. Like the transition, like I mentioned previously, that was the hardest. Getting customers was not super hard for me because I knew it was a contact sport. I knew I had to get in front of a lot of people, and I just was relentless to figure out ways to get in front of real estate agents, for them to know who I am, what I offer, what I do. So I think that's one that a lot of people might get hung up on. It might be just the sheer amount of work that it takes to do it. And I think what helped me through that is that I've been through some tougher times earlier in life, I guess. Not tougher times, but, I grew up LDS, and I went on a Mormon mission. And I think that, looking back, those types of activities that you do, knock on doors, make contacts, that kind of stuff kind of set me up for success, to be able to not get so down on no's, or like, oh my gosh, I'm not having any success, because we experienced a lot of that, a lot of walking, a lot of talking to people without a lot of success. So yeah, that kind of rooted me down, I think, with the right expectations. So getting customers. And then also when I first started, this is another one. So a lot of things at the beginning when you're first getting started, all within the first year, right? And then I got customers. I had some really good ones. I'm really grateful for the ones that gave me a shot, especially at the beginning when I was running around by myself. And then to transition, thinking in my head, how am I going to transition what I'm doing now by myself to other people? How am I going to train somebody? I was able to figure it out. I found somebody I knew somebody would want a solid salary, so I did put somebody on a salary to transition off to give me a shot. And he worked with us, I think, for like 5 years or more. But yeah, I'm grateful for him as well. But anyways, so those are some of the, I guess, the biggest challenges that you deal with initially. They all come with their own set of challenges. But that, for this video, the hardest part about being a full-time real estate photographer is the starting out and going through all those things. Because looking back, I definitely remember my mindset. I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to train? How do I simplify my process? Is somebody else going to want to install signs and do all this crazy stuff that I was doing? How am I going to find somebody that's as dedicated or willing to work a lot? Luckily, I found somebody. So that first hire is going to be very, very critical. Now, the more that you have more people, more mass people helping, each individual hire isn't as critical. But when you go from one person to two person, that second person is very, very important, because they're going to be interacting with customers, and you're in that growth mode, right? You're trying to grow your business, so you got to kind of be on the same page and have similar values. So anyways, I like to keep my videos short, so that's enough about at least my journey, the hardest things, especially at the beginning. Now, throughout the years, obviously I've been doing this for almost a decade now. There's different challenges that I've had to face along the way, and even challenges that I face today. There's always problems, and that's ultimately what business is. You're in the problem solving business, and I think that never goes away regardless of what business you're in. Solving people's problems, or adding value to people's lives. So anyways, that's it for this video. If you got value, hit the like button, and we'll see you guys on the next one.